Get out of the way. Hi, everyone, and welcome to TWF Impact or Hit. I'm Joey Styles, Jonathan Coachman, and Wade Barrett here, filling in for Aiden English, here today on Impact or Hit. We're going to have a good show. And why don't we just talk about the Tuskler in the room, Joey Styles says. Yeah, Jonathan Coachman said, some folks might wonder, where's Aiden English at? We don't know, Jonathan Coachman says. They don't know where he's at. He could be somewhere in that bookshelf over there, and we didn't have all the time to be looking for him. So, that's why I'm filling in today, Wade Barrett said. Can't always match up the play-by-play teams all the time. Well, today on Impact or Hit, we're going to have the TWF heavyweight and world heavyweight fighter here. Seth Rollins. Here he comes now, Joey Styles said. Now he's in the ring now, Jonathan Coachman said. And like any doll, he's going to have a hard time standing up, which is bullshit. Forgive my English. So it is, Jonathan Coachman says. Yeah, you got that right, Jonathan, and you got that right, Joey and Jonathan. Wade Barrett said, standing up seems to be a bind that all dolls seem to go through. No need who makes them or what land they're made from. All right, Seth Rollins says, I'm the TWF heavyweight and world heavyweight fighter. And to be honest, I do not know who I'm fighting. See, in the beginning, earlier this year, go back 3 months ago, and it was CM Punk. But then CM Punk got wounded like he did in true life, so then they gave it to Mora. Then Mora somehow had a match with Cody Rhodes, and then Cody Rhodes ended up beating, Mora, and he got it. And then somehow, some way, unknown to me, it went from Cody Rhodes to Drew McIntyre. So, who am I truly fighting? I don't truly know who I'm fighting. That's the sad thing. And another thing is, the TWF is always offshooting from what's going on in either WWE or TNAW or AEW or MLW, OVW, or the NWA. So you know that was going to happen. So whoever I am fighting, whoever that ends up being, at the end of the day, I'm going to beat them, whoever it is. Well, first off, Seth Rollins, that would be me. You see, in the beginning, we had to deal with the bullshit CM Punk. And he got wounded in true life. And then the TWF had an offshoot from that, so he was gone. And then they gave it to Mora, because we all know how great she was. And then Cody Rhodes beat her, so he got the right. And then I got the right. And unless they start fucking around with me, I'll still have the right to fight you come in your bedroom. Yeah, I see Seth Rollins. I see Drew McIntyre. You've been making foes of everyone. Yeah, you started something with Gajora, something with Miko Sanatini. I mean, where does it stop with you? I mean, guilting and shaming and scathing others for why you didn't win the matches that you thought you should have won. Or not winning the straps that you thought you should have won. Guilting everyone else for everything that ever went wrong in your calling as a skilled wrestler. I don't know what happened in BBCW. I don't know what happened in your first run in WWE. I got some guesses. I was there towards I showed up around the same time your first run came to an end. I don't know what you did in TNAW or EPW. and you're two different in WWE, well, yeah, Grant, yes, you did do some great things. But you see, what happened was, sometimes life doesn't work out the way you want it, Drew McIntyre. Yeah, when you won the Kingly Thunder in 2020 YL, you thought you would be fighting Brock Lesnar at Wrestle Madness, either night 1 or night 2, and you thought there would be folks watching. Well, by the time that came along, the North Vinland started getting a helping of Crovid that the East and that Evenland and that soon, Darkland, and soon the Southern Land and Southeast Sidelands, and finally North Vinland and South Vinland end up getting the helping of Crovid, and every land in the world didn't know what to do, so every Gabber, Reich, and Scheer, every Kingly, Reich, and Scheer law mode thought lockdown was the right answer. So by the time Wrestle Madness came along, what was that, 36 that year? By the time that came along, no one was watching. Oh, they weren't there, but they were watching it through the WWE Folkwork or whatever at the time. You won it, held it 2 times, and then when everybody came back in 2021 YL, you fumbled the ball, and then you started guilting everyone else for why you couldn't win the WWE Heavyweight Winnings back for a 3rd time, or why you couldn't win the World Heavyweight Winning for the 1st time. And the same thing happened in the TWF, because then you lost the TWF Heavyweight Winnings 2 times and guilted everyone else for why you didn't win those matches. So as it comes to what's going to happen this year at Wrestle Madness and WWE, or what's going to happen in your bedroom in the TWF, your guess is good as mine. But I know I'm not going to lose to some, crazy, guiltless, shameless, Evenlander, Highlander, who doesn't want to be held answerable for anything he says or does, and guilts it and shames it on everyone else. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna become a 3-time TWF heavyweight fighter and 1-time world heavyweight fighter. And I will win the WWE World Heavyweight Winnings in WWE. You're gonna be a 2-time loser, Seth. Not only in WWE, but also in TWF. So get ready to deal with it. Oh, you want me to wrestle you here today? So we can show you how Wrestle Madness and how in your bedroom will be. Because I would like to shut you up. Hey, that's enough, Astronema. Okay, that's enough, Astronema says. Look, I don't know how Adam Pearce handled it, or how Ava Raine handled it, and Nick Abyss handled it, or how even Santino Marella handled it. But I'm going to handle it this way. You want to have a match here today on Impact or Hit? Well, the winnings isn't going to be on stake. That's going to happen in your bedroom. But seeing Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins wrestle and fight here today on Impact or Hit, non-winnings, by the way, will give us a small peek of what's going to happen at Wrestle Madness and in WWE and in your bedroom in a TWF. Yeah, Ecliptor says, and I'm betting on Seth Rollins beating Drew McIntyre here and in your bedroom and also at Wrestle Madness too, Ecliptor goes. Well, it looks like that we're going to see Seth Rollins fight Drew McIntyre, but the winnings won't be on stake. That's going to happen That's going to happen at In Your Bedroom next month, the 24th, the 4th. Joey Styles says. That's right, Jonathan Coachman said. And we hopefully we can seek or aid in English, as that Jonathan Coachman says, so we can have him with us next week. Jonathan Coachman says. Yeah, Wade Barrett said, we know next week's going to be in your bedroom, you know. And now we got going for it now. In your bedroom, Wade Barrett says. And right now, Seth Rollins, body slamming Drew McIntyre. We know Seth Rollins in his street clothes, not his wrestling clothes or wear, Joey Styles says. And a suplex by Seth Rollins to Drew McIntyre, Joey Styles says. That's right, Jonathan Coachman said. Seth Rollins, whatever you want to call him, you know, he is a fighting TWF World Heavyweight Fighter. He's a fighting WWE World Heavyweight Fighter too. And don't forget, Wade Barrett said, at Wrestle Madness, WWE 40 Night 1, him and Cody Rhodes are doing double work because they get to fight against Roman Reigns and Rocky Maivia, or The Rock, or whatever you want to call him, Wade Barrett said. And if they get past that, he's also got to fight Drew McIntyre at Wrestle Madness. Yeah, that's right. Seth Rollins going on doing 2 matches instead of 1 that night, Joey Styles said. Well, Jonathan Coachman said in your bedroom's going to be a 1-day thing, not a 2-night thing, like Wrestle Madness became. Seth Rollins coming in. Seth Rollins missed. And Drew McIntyre just knocked Seth Rollins down with the Claymore kick, or whatever the English word is for it. And now the Future Shock DDT on Seth Rollins. And Drew McIntyre believes this is how Wrestle Madness and In Your Bedroom's going to end, like Joey Styles says. Well, we don't know, Jonathan Coachman says, it's going to end like that or not. That could be Drew McIntyre's insight, how he thinks it's going to play, like Jonathan Coachman says. Well, then again, Wade Barrett says he's making foes that he can't deal with, and now Godzilla showed up, or Godzilla showed up, and that's all it takes is him showing up. Drew McIntyre just lost his fought, and then Seth Rollins, curve stomp on Drew McIntyre. It's over here, folks, Joey Styles says. Yes, it is, John Coachman says. 1, 2, 3. Ding, ding, ding. Here is your winner, Seth Rollins. Well, Seth Rollins has beat Drew McIntyre, or Drew Galloway, whatever you want to call him, here today on Impact or Hit. The winnings was not on stake, Joey Styles said. That's right, Jonathan Coachman says. The winnings was not on stake here today. That will happen at In Your Bedroom, Jonathan Coachman says. And I'll tell you one thing right now. Wade Barrett said, hopefully next week they'll know where Aiden English is at, so I don't have to fill in for him again. Wade Barrett says. Well, sadly we do not know. We do not know where he's at. We do not know where he's at, and hopefully we have him back next week. Take it away, Gorilla Monsoon. Thank you, Joey Styles and Jonathan Coachman. I'm going to be talking with Drew McIntyre here today on Impact or Hit. Alright, Seth Rollins. You beat Drew McIntyre here today on Impact or Hit. None winnings. You got that right, Gorilla Monsoon. It's been some time since I've been on any TWF show, and I know next week it's going to be Impact or Hit, In Your Bedroom. My TWF heavyweight and world heavyweight winnings will be on stake when I fight Drew McIntyre, the same shithead that I'm going to be fighting in WWE at Wrestle Madness. Anyway, at the end of the day, Drew McIntyre has completely lost handle with truth. He doesn't want to hear he doesn't want to be held answerable for what he says and what he does. He wants to guilt and shame, and scathe, and slight everyone else and say it's their mistake or their mishap that he didn't win the WWE heavyweight winnings for a 3rd time, and he didn't win the Royal winning for the 1st time, that all the matches he should have won, so he lost, and all the winnings he should have won but instead lost or didn't win. He wants it guilted on everyone else and behave as if they're the ground, and behave as if they're the ground, sake or wide, for him not winning all those matches or not winning all those straps. Well, Seth Rollins, sadly, Drew McIntyre has chose to behave that way. He has chose to guilt and shame everyone else as if they're the ones that made him lose all those matches or made him lose all of those straps or didn't win them. He's a liar. He likes to talk about this, going around saying that if you forgive someone, if you're caring or loving or onlooking, that's a weakness, and that's the grounds of why he never did all the things he did. First off, Drew McIntyre, what are you going to say when I beat you in your bedroom? What are you going to say when I beat you at Wrestle Madness in WWE? You going to guilt it some more on the WWE and TWF followership? You going to guilt it on anyone else? Or are you just going to man up and say, yeah, I didn't win that match. I didn't win that fight. I didn't win that winnings. But I guess I got to put in the time and put in the work and hopefully win it back one day. Hopefully that's what you're going to do. But sadly, I know what you're going to do. You're going to guilt and shame everyone else if you didn't win it. Well, that's my talk with Seth Rollins. Back to you, Joey Styles and Jonathan Coachman. Thank you, Gorilla Monsoon, for talking with Seth Rollins here today on Impact or Hit. And that's all the time we got here for Impact or Hit. I, Joey Styles, Jonathan Coachman, and Wade Barrett. We hope you like Impact or Hit, and we'll see you tomorrow for Friday Night SmackDown.